Annual forklift inspections for LPG and CNG certification. Note, state certification requirements may differ, or you may require certification in your state if purchasing an LPG or CNG machine from out of state. There are a number of ongoing certification requirements which LPG and CNG forklifts must adhere to, one of which is a comprehensive annual inspection. Australian Standards AS 4983-2010 stipulates the legislation for liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) powered forklifts and other industrial equipment, which includes a scheduled annual check to cover any deterioration that remains unnoticed. All LPG systems require certification prior to being put into service, but an annual inspection must be passed for a successful renewal. If the forklift does not meet the required standard, the certification will no longer be valid. Here is a summary of what is to be checked in an annual inspection of LPG and CNG forklifts for certification. Gas leakage. In accordance with clauses 7.6 and 7.8.3, container identity, CNG. Matching serial numbers on fuel container and refueling information plate. Containers not tampered with or modified in any way. Fuel container life. Check of date stamp or life expiry date in relation to the next annual inspection and pursuit of re-inspection and recertification, LPG, or removal and disposal, CNG if required. Container recertification date, CNG. Check of date stamp in relation to retest date and recertification date. Fuel container damage. Dents, fire damage, fatigue, bulging, cuts or gouges, sharp impressions or creases on the container body. Protective fittings, mountings, compartments, subcompartments, pipework, heat shields or guards. Fuel container corrosion, especially in areas such as those susceptible to water accumulation, drip lines, clamping bands and release bands. Container attachment, corrosion, impact damage, abrasion, rust, cracks and metal fatigue. Tightness and condition of loose bands, wear under bands and fasteners. Correct orientation of fuel container. Adjustment of quick release container bands. Automatic fill limiter, LPG. Accuracy of fill limiter. Safety fuel shut-off system, LPG. Proper function of automatic fuel shut-off devices or excess flow valves. Fuel control systems. Proper function of fuel shut-off devices and fuel changeover systems. Manual valves. Function of valves. Leakage around connections. Compartment or subcompartment. Structural damage, deterioration, kinking, punctures, leakage, refueling connection. Integrity of dust cap, damage or contamination of connections. Housing properly attached. Deformity of remote fill line. Hydrostatic relief valve, LPG. Damage, blockage or tampering. Protrusions from mobile equipment. Components, piping and containers that extend beyond the overall contour of the forklift. Equipment marking. Presence and legibility of all required plates and markings. Liquid filters. All parts clean and intact. The forklift may fail the inspection if any parts required are not present or available during the inspection. If retrofitting is not possible, the unit fails. Australian Standards 4983-2010 includes specific guidelines on what form of damage and or corrosion warrants the container being taken to a certified gas cylinder station. This article is a guide only and in no way constitutes the Australian Standard Government guidelines. Look how many books in the picture that make up these guidelines. Australian Standards 4983-2010 should be referenced for further clarification and guidance. This has been Troy Gillen from Eureka Forklifts. Please contact us for further advice or information on your forklift requirements. Phone 07 3865 1205.